everyone. So today we are actually in continuance with the series of the translation as we have started the translation series. So in the earlier class, the first class of that series of translation, we have simply talked about that what is translation, right? So today we are trying to cover the basic things, required things of the translation, and if it will be possible, we start with the prokaryotic translation or the related concept. Okay. So of course we know of course already we talked about the translation. Translation is simple. The codons which are present on an mRNA, like, okay, so that are particularly recognized by the tRNA and synthesized with a specific amino acid and formation of the peptide bond between that amino acid which is forming the protein. Or in short, if you want to the crux, translation is a formation of the protein synthesis. But that is the after the translation process, when the nascent the initial structure is formed, that is called the primary structure of the protein. Protein is not only about the formation of the amino bond. Of course, we will talk in one of the classes in the protein structure folding or the structure of the protein, something like that. So here we are going to talk about the components or the required things of the translation. Okay. So we have covered this slide already. So the translation process is added. The translation process is, just a minute guys, so sorry for that. Okay. So the translation process is aided by the two major factors. The one is translator. This is a molecule that conducts the translation, and the second is a substrate. Up till here we have covered in the last class. This is where the mRNA is translated into the new protein, that is a translator disc. The translation process is guided by the machinery composed of the ribosomes and the tRNA, okay, with the minimum necessary material. Why that ribosome and the tRNA? Because mRNA, which is containing the code, ribosome is associated, and the tRNA is coming with that specific kind of amino acid. Okay, so what are the specifically ribosomes? As we know, the different types of ribosome found in the different types of cells, such as eukaryotic and the prokaryotic, 60S and the 80S. Okay, so ribosomes are made up of the ribosomal rRNA, that is rRNA, and the proteins. Therefore, they are also named ribozymes. So about the ribozymes is one more thing, that all of the enzymes are your protein except your ribozymes, because ribozymes are your RNA, right? Because RNA has an enzymatic activity. The rRNA has a peptidal transferase activity that bonds the amino acid. So here what we are seeing, that peptidal transferase activity that bonds the amino acid. So when the formation of the where the formation of the peptide bond occurs between the amino acid, that process is facilitated by the, and when we talk about the EPA site, right? So that process is facilitated by the peptidal transferase activity, and that peptidal transferase activity is present in the rRNA or the ribosome structure, right? So of course we'll relate with something. Just remember this peptidal transferase activity. Then we talk about that RNA and the proper process. Then we mention there. Okay. Again, the ribosomes have two subunits of rRNA and proteins. A large subunit with a 3 active site, that is E, P. That is E site is your exit site, P side is a peptidal site, and the A side is a amino acid site. Peptidal transferase from that A, then P, then E. So what happens here? The P side is containing the tRNA. Here the one amino acid, and here the new tRNA. It is coming with that one amino acid. There is a bond formation between both, and this new peptide, new amino acid is transferred from the P to A, and then the tRNA is coming from A to P. Of course, we will talk about. I'm just trying to explain what is the peptidal transferase activity. That is, and with the help of the EPA site, which are critical for the catalytic activity of ribosome. So the first thing which is required, except your mRNA, that has a codon, except that mRNA, that is your ribosome. Second is your tRNA. tRNA in itself is a very good thing to talk about. Okay, each tRNA has an anticodon for the amino acid codon. It carries which are complementary to each other. For example, lysine is coded by the AAG. What does that mean? And therefore, of course, we'll talk about, and therefore the anticodon will be the carried by the tRNA will be UEC. So this is something like that. Suppose that this is your mRNA. This is your mRNA. So many codons are there. Okay. So lysine is coded by AAG. So for the sake of that, AAG, right? And if we talk about the structure of the tRNA, if we talk about this separately here, better just here only. Okay, so first we'll talk about a little bit of the tRNA structure, because of course that is also important, right? So structure of the tRNA is like this. So there's a one more concept of the Wobble hypothesis, right? We'll talk about this also. So that is your okay. So this is your secondary structure of the tRNA. That is not the tertiary structure, first of all. So this model, this structure is known as the clover leaf model. Clover leaf model. And that is your secondary structure, not the tertiary structure. Okay, so what does that mean? This simply means that a single RNA chain, it is just fold, right? And just fold, and it is forming the one end is a 5 end and the another is a 3 end. The another 3 end has a OH free bond, and this is a constant, that ACC is a constant codon. This is called as a D loop or dihydrouridine loop. This is known as a T-Cy-C loop, and this is known as the anti-codon loop. Okay, so how this tRNA, the secondary structure of the tRNA function. So suppose that this is your mRNA, as here we have just talked about that lysine is coded by the AAG. So here the lysine will be attached. Okay, here the lysine will be attached if the mRNA have the A and G, right? So that anticodon, that tRNA की जो anticodon loop है, so what is the complementary of the AAG? That UC. That's how the tRNA actually functions. tRNA just recognize that what is the site, what is the coming codon, accordingly उसका वो अमाइनो एसिड लेके आता है, और इस पर्टिकुलर कोडॉन का जो एंटी कोडॉन होता है वो इसका इस एंटी कोडॉन लूप का कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री और फॉर्म होता है. ठीक है, सो दिस इज समथिंग अबाउट दैट tRNA का स्ट्रक्चर एंड देयर फंक्शन. ठीक है, I think we got this concept. Okay, for example, lysine is coded by the AAG, and therefore the anticodon that will be carried by the tRNA will be UUC. Therefore, when the codon AAG appears, an anticodon UUC of tRNA will bind to it temporarily. When the tRNA is bind to mRNA, we have just mentioned here, this is your mRNA, this is your tRNA. The tRNA then releases its amino acid. The rRNA then helps, that is rRNA here, to form the bonds between that amino acid as they are transported to the ribosomes one by one, thus creating a polypeptide chain. This polypeptide chain keeps growing until it reaches the stop codon, just like this, है ना? So AAG, then whatever the next, then until it will reaching the whatever the stop codon is UAC, UC and UAC, UA, UAC and UCA. There are 3 stop codon. Okay. So each tRNA, there's a one tRNA coming. This is your P site, right? This is your A site, and this is your P site. This is your A site, and this is your A site. The next tRNA will come at the A site. Okay, next same, the double clover leaf model will come at this area. Okay, and this suppose that यहाँ पे there are so many amino acids की chain are there. So this amino acid, this is the 3 end of the OH. So this is the amino acid new wala. So this amino acid chain will transfer from this P site of tRNA to A site, and then it will take exit to the E site, and this new tRNA, which is having now the long polypeptide chain, which will now it will move from A site to the P site. So that is something, a basic process of the tRNA. Then Next is your, okay, I think we have just talked about it. Next is your mRNA. Of course, we know the mRNA that is transcribed from that transcription process from the DNA, right, and containing the codon. So some similar thing is that mRNA containing the codon which transcribed into amino acid. So mRNA is the basic material from which the acids, amino acids are just attaching with each other, okay, by recognizing a specific codon. Then what are the enzymes? Actually, what are the enzymes? The amino acid activating system, okay. First आपका enzyme कौन सा है? The amino acid activating system that we call the charged tRNA. So when we talk about that initiation, okay, so initiation में first thing we will talk about that charging of tRNA, right? So that charging of the tRNA, of course, with the help of the specific enzyme and everything, of course, we'll talk about the catalytic side or something like that. First is your amino acid activating site, that is with the help of amino acyl tRNA synthetase. So remember the enzymes: amino acyl tRNA synthesis, peptide polymerase system, the peptide transferase. We have just covered, is the main enzyme used in the translation. It is found in the ribosome. We have covered it with an enzymatic activity that catalyzes the formation of the covalent peptide bond, right, between the adjacent amino acid. The enzyme's activities to form the peptide bonds between the adjacent amino acid, ठीक है, इतना काफी है. Then enzymatic 2 substrate है. Look at into the large subunit. This is something good that peptidal transferase जो है आपका वो large subunit of ribosome पे present होता है, and therefore the primary function of the peptidal transferase to catalyze the addition of amino acid residues along the polypeptide chain. In prokaryotes, where 23, so the one day we will talk about the ribosome specifically, then we will talk about the different subunit like 60, 40, 30, 50. So they have further division like 23, 25s, 23s, 5.8s, 5.5s. So we will talk about different the prokaryote and the eukaryote. Contains a peptidal transferase between the A site and the O site of the tRNA in eukaryote. It is found in the 20th subunit. ठीक है, इतना is not something very good. मतलब required है of course, but yeah, this is something you can cover by yourself. The third enzyme is, the first enzyme is the amino acid activating. The second enzyme is peptidal polymerase system, that is transferase activity. The third is ATP as the energy source, okay. And the fourth is a guanosine triphosphate for the synthesis of the peptide. Of course, GTP also required is there sometimes. Then the soluble proteins initiators and the transfer factors, and various inorganic cations such as K+, NH+, Mg+. Then these are the basic things which are required for the translation process. So in short, you can say these are the basic factors or required factors for the translation machinery, okay. Then the protein synthesis is one of the most complex biochemical transformation which cells perform, and at least 200 different proteins are required for the protein synthesis itself. So it's not like you are forming one of the proteins. So enzymes are also protein. So for the formation of the protein, there are other 200 different enzymes are required, okay. Then the genetic codon we have already covered. So we'll go to the translation in prokaryotes. So this is the topic we're going to talk about a little bit here, okay. Translation in prokaryotes. So of course we understood the translation, and it occurs mainly in the 3 stages, that is your initiation, elongation and termination. So we'll talk about the initiation. What is the initiation? Okay, so this is something in the translation in prokaryotes. What we can see here, okay, so this is your nascent mRNA, not the nascent, but of course after the post-transcription modification, right? This is your mRNA. In that mRNA there is Sine-Dalgarno process, है ना? And this is your AUG. So AUG is your, what is the significance of AUG? AUG is your start codon, but that does not mean that if it is a start codon, then it is just present in the start of that mRNA. Of course, that is not required. Okay. So what we are seeing here, first of all, what is coming? 30S ribosomal subunit. Okay, वो आ रहा है. It is having EPA site. That is your initiator factors. Okay, it is 30S initiator complex. That 30S ribosomal subunit. Listen very carefully. Of course, we will talk about it. First, we will describe with the help of the diagram. 30S ribosomal subunit coming and attaching to the mRNA, है ना, where the codons are there, and it is forming the 30S initiation complex. Of course, charging of tRNA we are going to talk about. Don't worry. Okay. Then what is happening? Then the methylated, like F-formyl methylated, that is one of the difference between the prokaryote and the eukaryote charging tRNA. So the prokaryotic tRNA is formyl methylated, but उसमें ऐसा नहीं है, formyl group नहीं attach होता आपके eukaryote में, ठीक है. So the charged tRNA, that is your first tRNA, it comes codon anticoding pairing with that AUG के साथ इसकी pairing क्या है? UAC, ठीक है. First क्या होता है आपका? Charged tRNA आके attach होता है. After that आपका 50th ribosomal subunit or the larger one subunit of the ribosomes comes. Okay, so 30th initiation complex is your mRNA, 30th subunit with the charged tRNA. Okay, then attachment of the 50th subunit, then again here the GDP. यहाँ पे आपके 30th और 50th attach हो जाते हैं, then it is your EP site, and these are some of the initiator factor IF1, IF2, IF3, GTP, GDP and inhibitor. Then that we are going to talk about here. Okay. So in the prokaryotes, protein synthesis begins with the formation of the initiator complex, that is your 30th initiator complex, which involves the small 30th ribosomes, the mRNA template, the three initiator factors, that is your IF1, IF2, IF3. In the eukaryotes, we just add EIF1, EIF2 and EIF3. Do not get confused that which is in a prokaryote, which is in a eukaryote. Okay. In eukaryote, we are just adding E. Okay. That helps the ribosome assemble correctly. Guanosine triphosphate, that is a GTP, act as an energy source, not ATP, just remember that. And a special initiated tRNA carrying N-formyl methionine, F-met tRNA. Okay, that is your charge RNA. Now first we'll talk about, जैसे कि this is the process, right? Similar at the parallel, there's a process going on of the charging of the tRNA. So what is the charging of the tRNA? It is accomplished by the enzyme amino acyl tRNA synthetase. We have just mentioned that, right? Amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzyme which bonds the amino acid to tRNA. If I talk here, so this is your amino acyl. Okay, this is your amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzyme. Okay, so ये इसकी क्या है? If I want to talk here, so what it is? This is its active amino acid. Okay, so we know the concept of that key lock and key hypothesis of the enzymatic activities. Of course, every enzyme has a specific substrate complex. So यहाँ पे there's a binding of the amino acid, and here the binding of the tRNA. Okay, just tRNA. Got it? So first amino acid is binding with that amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzyme. Then the tRNA is attaching with this enzyme, the another active site of this enzyme. Then this tRNA, the structure of the tRNA is like that, right? The structure of the tRNA is like that. Then at this end, this amino acid is binded with that amino acid, with the tRNA, and formation of the charged or methylated tRNA, and enzyme will release. That is the function of the enzyme, right? E plus S gives out ES, then the formal product is P, right? This is something like that. Okay. So amino acid tRNA synthesis which bonds amino acid to tRNA. देखो यहाँ पे amino acid ने पहले first the amino acid will bind here, then tRNA will bind here, then the bond formation will be the between that amino acid and tRNA with the help or the association with the of the enzyme. And this bond formation requires energy. यहाँ पे आपकी ATP की energy की requirement होती है ना? With ATP and to AMP, while this bond is unstable, so it can release amino acid at ribosome easily. बहुत strong bond नहीं बनता because of course इसको वहाँ पे release करना है. Initiation starts with the interaction of the 30th subunit with an mRNA with the 3IF. Chain initiation begins with the formation of the two complexes. The first is पहले इसमें IF2 N-formyl methionine charged tRNA के साथ आता है. Then mRNA 30th subunit आता है, फिर IF3 आता है, that is prokaryotic mRNA contains the consensus in the Sine-Dalgarno process. Okay. Sine-Dalgarno sequence क्या होता है? It's a complementary to a sequence of the nucleotide at the 3' end of the ribosomal RNA of the 30th subunit. तो of course 30th subunit भी आपका एक वो है, उसका ये कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री होता है 30th subunit न्यूक्लियोटाइड के 3' एंड पे, ठीक है, आरएनए का भी of course है. Interaction between these complementary sequences enhances the attachment of the 30th subunit. So ribosome की जो small subunit होती है, of course उसके attachment के लिए भी there is something which should be helping to that, है ना, and that is your rRNA जो है आपका, जो आपकी ribosome है, that is made up of the RNA, rRNA, right? So rRNA also has that 3' end. The Sine-Dalgarno sequence is a complementary of, that is something you need to know. Sine-Dalgarno process is a complementary of 3' end of the ribosome. That is something here we need to talk about. Okay. Okay. Attachment of the 30th. Then it is this association is actually now run and just scan that AUG initiator codon. Now both the complex combine with each other. Now here IF1 आता है और 50 subunit यहाँ पे सबसे पहले. तो what is the sequence of initiation? Of course we talk about gets added to the complex structure. IF3 is released. The addition of the 50th subunit utilizes the GTP and which in trigger triggers the IF1 and IF2. In short, if I want to talk about, this is your mRNA. Okay, this is your signed Algarno sequence, SD sequence, which is the complementary of course this is in your codon hai, so this is your complementary of on the mRNA. यहाँ पे signed Algarno sequence के association के through small subunit of ribosome आता है. It recognizes because it is a complementary of 3 prime end of the rRNA. ठीक है. Now this is scanning. What is scanning? The AUG site. As it scanned the AUG site with the help of that IF2 and IF3. First IF2, then IF3. Okay. Then AUG site पे आपका EPA of course. Then here the charged tRNA will combine. That is your charged tRNA. F-formyl methionine charged tRNA will come, and then it forming the 30S pre-initiation complex. Then the large subunit, that is the 50th subunit comes. Okay, and which is coming with that ये एसोसिएशन के बाद आपका IF1 आता है. IF1 आएगा, जीटी पे हाइड्रोलिसिस करेगा, है ना, एनर्जी के लिए 50 सबयूनिट उसको एसोसिएट करेगा, और उसके बाद जैसे ही 50 एसोसिएट करेगा, ग्रेजुअली IF3 निकलेगा, रिमूवल होगा, देन IF2 निकलेगा. दैट इज समथिंग अबाउट द इनिशिएशन. ठीक है. व्हाट इज द इलोंगेशन देन? Elongation start with the occupation of the methionine tRNA to the ribosome P site. This is your something like that. IF1, IF3, IF2, and this is 50S. Okay, this is a good diagram. At P site, recognizing at the start codon, अभी तो recognize किया on mRNA bound to the small subunit, small ribosomal subunit. Peptidal tRNA translocated to the P site and uncharged tRNA is translocated to the E domain. Okay, so something look at here. So ये आपकी EPA site है. If you want to see like that, this is your EPA site. जो आपका first tRNA है, that is bind at the P site. Then the uncharged tRNA is coming on the A site because that is a sequence. Okay, if you want to see like that, EPA site. यहाँ पे आपके नया चार्ज जो आपका आता है tRNA वो A पे आके बाइंड करता है. तो जो आपका पहला tRNA था, the first tRNA and having the one amino acid, है ना, that is formyl methionine, वो इस अमाइनो एसिड और ये tRNA के साथ ये क्या करते हैं, दे आर फॉर्मिंग द अमाइनो एसिड पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड. यहाँ पे आपका पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड का फॉर्मेशन हुआ, ये अब अनचार्ज हो गया. दिस पीस वाला अमाइनो एसिड, दिस बिकम अनचार्ज एंड टेकिंग एग्जिट फ्रॉम दिस एरिया, इट इज मूविंग टू द A, and now the P area is vacant of course, but the new tRNA always come on the A side. Now this amino acid with this one this tRNA with this one amino acid and this like 2 amino acid, it is shifting from that A side to the P side. Now the A side is become vacant, right? Vacant for the coming tRNA. What is the tRNA coming? Which is a complementary of mRNA codons. ठीक है, जैसे कि ये मान लो इसको हम लोग ले लें CGU. ठीक है, तो whatever the complementary of the CGU and what which amino acid is coding for that CGU, the new tRNA coming with that amino acid. Okay. Then peptidal tRNA translocated to P site and A site is unoccupied. New amino acid tRNA binds to the A site and process continues. ठीक है, this is something like that. Elongation is simply binding the amino acid. The large subunit then joins us. ठीक है, this is not required. As the mRNA moves relative to the ribosome, successive tRNA moves through the ribosome and the polypeptide chain. This is something we can see here. This is now a small amino acid. This is a little bit a large amino acid chain. Gradually it is just growing up, and as it is reaches to the UAG, that is your stop codon, this will just release. So when it just scan for the stop codon, now the 50S and the 30S subunit just separate like from each other. Okay. In this way, the elongation proceeds with charged tRNA sequentially entering and leaving the ribosome as each new amino acid is added to the polypeptide chain. We can see it here, है ना? ये देखो, यहाँ पे आपका अमाइनो एसिड है, ये आपका EF2 के साथ आ रहा है, ये P वाला इसको शिफ्ट करेगा और ये ग्रेजुअली E साइड से एग्जिट कर जाएगा. Exit side is your E side, incoming side is your A side. That is something you need to know. This movement of the tRNA from look at here, A to P to E side is induced by the conformational changes that advances the ribosomes by 3 bases in 3n direction. The energy for each step as the binding of the new amino acid tRNA to the A side and also for its translocation binding and for the translocation to the P side after formation of a peptide bond along the ribosomes is donated by the elongation factor that is hydrolyzing the GTP, right? Coming and binding of the tRNA and then taking the exit side. It is all the processes utilizing the energy, and this energy is your GTP hydrolysis, right? Peptide bond form the between amino group of amino acid attached to the A site of tRNA and carboxyl group of the amino acid attached to the P site. ठीक है, we have just talked about it. A site unoccupied, new amino acid tRNA bind to the A site and process continues. Then what is the termination? Of course, termination is nothing, something like that. Step 1 में क्या हो रहा है? After the amino acid needed to make the protein required are properly bonded to each other, that's a peptide bond formation occurs only. Here there is not the formation of the secondary or the tertiary structure. During the translation process, a single long polypeptide chain is forming. There is only peptide bond is present. Got it? Each other, a release factor binds to the complex when a stop codon enter to the A site. Stop codon UAC, sorry. In this slide we have just seen that, है ना? Okay, so this is UAG. जैसे ही A site, क्योंकि E, P, A, तो सबसे पहले किसको strike करेगा? A site को strike करेगा, and it will give the signal. Okay, UAG is not coding for any amino acid, so it is giving the signal for the stop codon into the A site. That is your releasing factor RF1, RF2, RF3. When a stop codon UAA, UAG or UGA arrives at the A site, it is recognized and bounded by a protein release factor, that is your RF. Two classes होते हैं, class 1 and class 2. इन्हीं को लाइक 2 classes है, ठीक है. Step 2 में क्या है? Release factor then disconnects the polypeptide. ये release factor के थ्रू ही जो आपकी last tRNA होगी, having the long amino acid polypeptide chain, ठीक है, वो क्या हो जाएगी? With the helping of the release factor, it will just dissociate from the tRNA, right? At the P site, of course, RF binds to the termination codon at the A site and stimulate the hydrolysis bond between that tRNA and the polypeptide chain at P site, resulting in the release of the complete polypeptide from ribosome. Right? Step 3 में क्या हो गया? The remaining components mRNA, ribosomal subunit and the protein are released and the process of the translation ends. Okay, so this is the summary, like everything, initiation, elongation and the termination. Majorly आपके यहाँ पे initiation में the initiation factor IF1, IF2, IF3. First आपका क्या हो रहा है? If we just talk about the summary, first the charging of the tRNA. At the parallel time, the ribosome, small subunit of the ribosome is scanning, and with the help of the signed Algarno process, initiation codon, that is AUG. Then as it is scanning with the help of the IF2 and IF3, the charged first tRNA coming to your P site, right? Then IF3 is IF2, IF3 के साथ, then your IF1 is coming, that is helping in the GTP hydrolysis. Then in that 30th pre-initiator complex, the IF1 50th subunit is also coming, है ना? This is your initiation. Elongation means there's a formation, like next tRNA is coming to your A site, right? And there's a formation of amino acid between the P site and the A site, the peptide bond formation. Now the uncharged tRNA which is present on the P site, this is continuing. It is moving to the E site and P site will be vacant. Now the tRNA which is present in the A site, it is shifting to the P site, and that all process is taking the, again, hydrolysis of the GDP. Now the uncharged tRNA is taking exit from the E site and the A site is vacant. The A site is actually prepared for that incoming tRNA. Okay? That's how the elongation continues with the formation of the peptide bond between that continue amino acids. Okay? How the termination process ends? The termination process simply ends as with the help of the RF factor, release factor. As the A site, EPA site A site will recognize the UAG, sorry, stop codon, that is UAG, UG, and whatever in any one of three. Okay? Release factor come in the last tRNA, है ना, which is present in your P site पे, because A site just recognize that P site पे जो आपकी एक long amino acid की chain है, it will just release with the help of that RF factors, right? फिर क्या आपका होगा? Whatever the release factor is just helping the tRNA अलग हो रहा है. Whatever the association in that initiation, in the initial process just combined, they just become gradually separate out with each other. And what we are seeing at the last, we are getting the long polypeptide chain with the formation of the only peptide bonds between that amino acid. That's how the translation in prokaryotes completed. Okay, with the separate level of, and this is a proper structure. You can form any of the structure, and initial structure you can also combine form. I think that's good for the translation in the prokaryotes. Thank you everyone.